Going on, everybody? Sports Snippets. Dennis Sullivan. What the heck's going on, guys? Day after Thanksgiving. It is, as I make this video, late morning, the 26th of November. Here to talk a little Miami Heat with you. Have some things to discuss, definitely some things on my mind here, and I want to also specifically talk about the recent game that they played, which was a road game loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves, 113 to 101. Before I do get started, if you do like the content of this particular video, go right ahead. You know what to do. Hit the thumbs up. That would be completely awesome, actually. And if you would also like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great. I have plenty of basketball upcoming, season just getting started. So go ahead, subscribe to my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan as well. So here we go again. I go through this every year, and what I mean by going through this is that basketball very much sneaks up on me because I'm always so focused on football, like just really getting into it, and I still am. I mean, of course, I'm a big football fan, NFL, college, you name it. And you turn around and then basketball starts, and November's that kind of transition month because when you think about it, we got plenty of NBA. I mean, it's just really getting started, even though the Heat are 19 games in. For the season, 12-7 through 19 games. So, I mean, we got December, January, February. Those are really big months right there into March, and then April and the playoffs and all that stuff. So, had the chance to watch the Miami Heat take on the Minnesota Timberwolves a little bit on Wednesday night, a game they would lose by 12 points. Now, I have some thoughts to share on on this game. I mean, first off, of course, Mr. Edwards, Anthony Edwards, was phenomenal in this game between his driving to the basket, shooting the ball from three. I mean, he was out on the break. He was just playing that scorer role and would have a game-high 33 points. But before I get into a little more on this game, we want to keep in mind where we left off last year, because for the Miami Heat, last year was not a successful season in my very, very humble opinion. It was not a successful season. I'm sorry, guys, a sixth seed with that team, and then you get swept in the first round of the playoffs. Yes, we know it was to the Bucks. Yes, we know the Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA championship last year. And yes, we know the Heat really had no chance in that series. But really what was annoying as a Heat fan was the sixth seed finish, which this team was better than a sixth seed. I'm sorry, guys, when you look at it from top to bottom, the roster of last year. This year, so far, has been a little bit better. Now, I'm going to play both sides of it here. I have some concerns, though. I have to admit, I have some concerns. A lot of things that we're going to have to see play through, of course. But you look at the standings now, of course, again, we're not even a quarter into the NBA season, regular season. Heat sitting at 12-7, Chicago Bulls 12-7. They're like 2-3. If the season were to end today, but you have a whole bunch of teams around 12-7, 11-8. For example, the Bucks right now sit at 11-8, coincidentally, and the Bucks would finish if the season were to end today as a sixth seed. So what I'm getting at, guys, is really the Heat are technically one game ahead of the seed that they finished in, or the spot that they finished in last year. That's another way to look at it. So the other big factor, I'll leave you with that thought as I move to the next topic, but another factor is I'm seeing a lot of what I saw last year. Of course, I'm seeing a lot of good things, but I'm just not quite seeing the rebounding advantage, the toughness inside, very similar to last year, where the Heat just aren't quite strong enough collectively as a unit In this game, as an example, 12-point loss in Minnesota, the Heat were out rebounded 52 to 40, and on the offensive glass, out rebounded 15 to 4. That's not going to get it done. You have Dwayne Dedmon. Yes, a good addition last year. The Heat pick him up. I like it. But he doesn't even play 9 minutes. He's playing like 8. It's like 8 minutes, and I don't know, they put the seconds on there. It's a little bit over 8 minutes. Yeah, he produces, but again, it goes back to the whole thing of last year, is the Heat are definitely a small ball type team. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, because a lot of the NBA, see, this is the new NBA style of small ball. We're going to play, a couple of guards, a couple of four. Yeah, we have big guys. We'll kind of mix them in a little bit here and there. But just like last year, are the Heat going a little overboard with the small ball style? That's the unanswered question. Although last year, they just were not tough enough inside. I'm sorry, guys. And for me to see Precious Achiuwa, no longer a Heat player, go to Toronto and get the minutes and provide the Raptors with exactly what the Heat need. Achiuwa is sitting at a little over 8 points and a little over 8 rebounds a game so far this season, which is exactly what the Heat could use this year. His last 2 games were 17 points, 4 rebounds, 12 points, 8 rebounds. He was more, for the Heat last year, 4 points, 2 rebounds, because he would only play 5 or 6 minutes in a game, maybe sometimes a little more, because, of course, we had to get the guards in and do the threes and all this stuff. His last 2 games as well for Toronto, this is still on the Precious Achiuwa topic, he's getting playing time, guys. He would play 28 minutes and 26 minutes, respectively. He's playing right in the 25 to 30-minute range. He missed a couple of games due to injury, I saw. But he's been pretty much a consistent contributor to the Toronto Raptors. So, yes, this is a little bit frustrating for me. Let's talk, and we got to resolve this. We got to get someone in that role. Again, I'm seeing this team just a man short inside. The collective toughness is just not there. Bam is only going to do so much, guys. He's only one human being out there. He's only going to do so much. So in the 12-point loss Wednesday night, let's go through this real quick. You had, I'm going to throw some stats at you here and move a little fast because I'm already at about 8 minutes here into the video. Jimmy Butler would play okay with 16 points by his standards, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. PJ Tucker, more defensive type addition to this team. He has tons of playoff experience. I do like the addition of PJ Tucker. He's not going to really fill up the box score that much, though, in many of these games, guys, in all likelihood, as was the case Wednesday night. 3 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and a block. Bam was very aggressive around the rim. Again, he's only one guy, though. He needs a little more help. Same story as last year. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Duncan Robinson, 17, 5 and 3, and a steal. Kyle Lowry, not one of his better games, 7 points, 6 rebounds. He did have 5 assists and a steal. Tyler Herro off the bench. He didn't shoot the ball well, did Herro. I mean, Herro does look a little bit better this year. We could see that. He's like in really awesome shape. He's moving really well out on the court. He looks good out there, but 5 of 18 shooting is not a typical Tyler Herro game. We look for better performances moving forward. I'm sure we'll get tons of those. But he would still finish with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Gabe Vincent, another nice addition for the Heat at 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Had a couple of nice threes I saw that he hit. He can hit the open jumper from long range. Caleb Martin had a small impact, a point, 2 rebounds, and assist. Dwayne Dedmon, as discussed earlier, in about 8 minutes of playing time, would score 9 points with 3 rebounds. The Timberwolves, let me touch on this real quick, guys. The Timberwolves, quite simply, are a better team this year. With the win, they go to 9-9. Heat don't play the Timberwolves until March. It will be very interesting to see where this Timberwolves team is in March, in almost 4 months from now. They don't, because of course it's East for the Heat, West for Timberwolves. We only play them a couple of times each year. Anthony Edwards, as mentioned, between his outside shooting, his driving to the basket, his getting out on the break, I mean, the guy was just a force from beginning to end. 33 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Clearly was the best player on the floor on Wednesday night. Jared Vanderbilt, he's an up-and-coming inside force in the league. In my opinion, 8 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. Karl Anthony Towns, a little bit of a quiet game for him. And by his standards, offensively, 11.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. D'Angelo Russell had a nice game with 20 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. Patrick Beverley would only play a few minutes and leave the game early with a groin injury or groin issue, as far as disabling him to play. In other words. He is, from what I understand, though, day to day, he's not playing Friday night. He's not playing Friday night with the injury. It sounds to me, I did a little reading on this prior to making this video. It sounds to me like he's definitely in that day to day, or at least he'll be out maybe a short term. Thus far, is how it appears with the groin matter, the groin issue, causing him to not be 100%. Malik Beasley, huge off the bench for Minnesota. 29 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, a block. Jaden McDaniels, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Naz Reid, who really hurt the Heat last year, as you recall, 2 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, and a block. A little bit more of a reserve role for him off the bench in this game. Taurean Prince, 3 points, and a rebound for Taurean Prince. And Jordan McLaughlin did not score. He did have 3 assists in the game. So the Heat lose the battle on the boards. There is concern, guys, by me. We got to get tough inside. This is a Pat Riley, team, as far as Pat Riley pushing the buttons for the roster. I'm a little bit surprised that this is what we're seeing. I mean, it's still a good team. I have high hopes, but we just need a little bit more toughness. It would be interesting. I mean, Pat Riley's no longer on the sidelines, as we all know. He's great at what he does, and Spoelstra is a good coach too, but we need more toughness. I can't say it enough, guys. I cannot say it enough. The shooting wasn't that great, by the way. Again, in the loss to the Timberwolves, he would actually outshoot the Timberwolves from the field in terms of percentage, 44.6 to just under 41%. For the Timberwolves. The Heat play next Saturday night, giant monstrosity game on the road against the Chicago Bulls, who have an identical 12-7 record as the Miami Heat do. Minnesota plays tonight, actually, Friday night at Charlotte. So again, Timberwolves play Friday night at Charlotte. Heat also on the road, but they play Saturday night in Chicago. I think that my last thoughts for this video, the loss to the Timberwolves was actually, as I touched on a little bit, this is a better Timberwolves team. It was, if anything, it was a little bit more about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their talented team. I mean, you had 4 guys who really stepped up, including Towns. I mean, Vanderbilt played well. Anthony Edwards played great. D'Angelo Russell looked good. And Malik Beasley was like the ultimate in offensive production off the bench. So leave me a message, guys. Let me know what you think. It's kind of a mixed review. I have some concerns, but this is still a very talented Heat team. I mean, you're led by Bam Adebayo and, of course, Jimmy Butler. So you have 2 All-Stars leading the way. We'll see how things go. It'll be interesting to see how things work out as well on Saturday night. So I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks for viewing. Talk to you next time, that is. And bye for now.